When companies are focused on growth and on scale, and we saw in the last decade a real unhealthy pursuit of this, even in the face of profit, like let's actually throw profit out the door because we care so much about revenue growth. I would be interested to know the impact of EBITDA margin as compared to total annual revenue.
In our world, sometimes growth is substituted as if it's the same thing as success. And, we definitely do not believe that. And I think you've just come through a period of time, particularly with early stage businesses, where the game was to do a startup to get a valuation as quick as you could, to operate, to try to get growth and profit be damned. And if you need more capital, you just keep getting it at higher and higher valuations because you have a bunch of sucker investors who are going to do that for you. I feel that thankfully that chapter has come to a complete end, and that is not going to be able to work for a while. We are very patient for growth. We are impatient for break-even cash flow in early stage situations. And in more mature situations, we look and we ask, how profitable is your profit? And by that, what we're talking about is whether we're talking about pre-tax income, EBITDA, so whatever number that you want to focus on, that's the bottom line, it's fine. And we would ask, what is the percentage of that EBITDA margin to your total revenue? Do I care nominally about profit? No, I do not. I use profit as a proxy that tells me if you have a 5% EBITDA margin, wow, you're working really hard to make very little cash flow, and you must be in a business where the customer does not appreciate your product very much, or it's able to be substituted very easily. On the other hand, if you make a 25% EBITDA margin, your customers are telling you, we love the product or service that you're giving us because they're allowing you to make that big margin. Those are our clients. And those are the businesses that have the most value because investors are really smart. And so they know what I'm saying is that those high profit margins are indicative of something. So we just had a discussion the other day with a couple of experienced entrepreneurs, and their business is heading quickly towards 200 million in revenue. And they were talking about revenue. And they were talking about their sales team was compensated on revenue and their operations team was compensated on revenue. And finally, I raised my hand and I said, what are you guys talking about? What's the pre-tax earnings on that 200 million? And they said, well, our goal is 10%, but we'd be happy with 5. And I said, well, first of all, I don't like that language that you'd be happy with 5, but do you understand that 5% of 200 million, which is 10 million, gives you a valuation, but 10% on 100 million is a much, much more valuable business. And these entrepreneurs looked at me like with cross eyes, like, what are you talking about? We've never heard that before. I said, I'm talking about in a capital gain situation now, a $100 million business making 10% is far more valuable than a $200 million business making 5%, even though both of them have $10 million of EBITDA. And it's obvious why, right? The market's telling you something. And so we try to have entrepreneur owner managers be focused on the right numbers. You may have to sacrifice some quick scale in order to optimize the pre-tax. And the reason we think that's so important is because if you optimize the pre-tax and get those margins high enough, you'll have plenty of cash flow for growth. And if you don't, you won't. And I just had a discussion with someone who's a world saver, and they're in a business which is a very laudable business in the substance recovery rehab business, which is a business we understand quite well. And they were arguing that they only want to have a 2% profit because they want to make sure they're helping the people. And my point to them was, if you have a 2% margin, you're actually endangering your mission. You're actually going to go out of business and you won't be able to serve these clients that you say that you care so much about. You need a 10% margin in order to be sustainable. And so we'd like to get that message across to entrepreneurs who may be listening to this, is that I'm not talking about price gouging. I'm not talking about anything untoward. As I told you, I don't care about profit in and of itself. But to have a business which has a culture of having a great, healthy profit margin is really a great thing.